white culture normalizes the raping and exploitation of any other cultures and individuals who the individuals in charge of that culture set their eyes upon in order to guarantee that capitalism remains the conversation in charge of how human experience is conducted. Yeah? So every single aspects which you find within white culture fuel the ideology. A lot of the times there are issues which hit us on an emotional level that cause various amounts of reactions out of people, because those reactions are sparked by our emotions. But a lot of those conversations have got nothing to do with our emotions, but everything to do with a capitalistic business conversation. So white culture normalizes exploitation of anything that it sets its eyes upon.
So do you believe that white culture normalizes exploitation of other cultures
100%.
and other races?
100%.
And is that for kind of everyone who's white, or the majority of white people, or
So
what do you mean? Yeah.
So the majority of white people are too separated from a lived reality by individuals who are the direct consequence of the application of white culture. So what do I mean by that? There's a viral video going around right now of a white woman asking how are white people supposed to feel about all of these immigrants coming into Europe. So like France, England, and people are losing their lives in the water. A lot of white people will be not only judgmental, but non-acceptant of the idea of immigrants risking their lives to live here in Europe, literally risking their lives. There's no navigation system on the boat, nothing but God's grace that might land you on the other side. This is what immigrants are doing and dying. They're dying in the water. This has been demonstrated. But white people aren't even able to empathize with those humans, because in the reality in which they live in, they never have to remotely consider why someone would do such a thing. To you and I, it's very obvious. Neo-colonialism destroys the countries where it is applied, right? So the individuals leave that country hoping to find a better future or a place where they could actually live a day-to-day. Even if they never get to see the American dream or, dream big and be ambitious and that, at least have a day-to-day experience which will enable you to be like, I'm alive. This is what people are looking for, right? But a lot of, you get me?
Yeah.
But a lot of white people can't even connect with that, because in the reality created by white culture, ignorance has the developed power over their existence. So for us, that's why I said at the start of this point, you can't even be mad at white people. Some of them take the piss, right? We can separate those individuals. But in terms of the majority of them, they are literally the children of amplified ignorance. And because their reality is so comfortable and privileged, I personally don't think that they could ever have the capacity to comprehend what motivates individuals to do what they do in terms of, perhaps immigration, or perhaps reason why certain communities are marginalized and left aside, and what that leads to cause, i.e. delinquents, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the time when white people speak on delinquents, they'll describe the situation as they understand it, as opposed to overstanding it, right? So me, when I talk on delinquents, I'll speak from someone that overstands it, because I lived it firsthand. I've lost people to the street, and I've experienced a set of realities to do with delinquents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But someone that's never dealt with that, you just be like, oh, they're just a bunch of thugs, right? And they push them aside, right? So this is what to understand, is that white culture normalizes the abnormal. And until we as people, meaning that individuals of all ethnicities, address that, we are going to be under the power of that reality.